Let me show you how to cook the perfect green arrow in diaspora way from start to finish. Keep watching. Hello beautiful people, how is it going? Your girl Chloe is right here, and today I will be showing you how to make the best, most perfect, authentic Cameroonian arrow with spinach the diaspora way, and how to make it green, and important tips of how to make it green. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Trust me, you're gonna love everything I drop on here. And guys, in this recipe, it was highly requested, so I decided to drop it. First off, in my pot here, I will start off by boiling my proteins. My first protein to come in is gonna be the tripe. I know some of you are wondering, like, why is it so white like this? Yeah, if you are in diaspora, like, you're gonna be used to seeing this kind of tripe at the grocery store. So the next to come in is my cow skin. I will just bring it in perfectly washed. We call it kanda in Cameroon. Nigerians call it pomo. So just bring that in. So guys, you must not use the same proteins I'm using, all right? Use any proteins of your choice. Now my beef comes in perfectly washed. Now combine everything. You want to make sure you season it perfectly with some seasoning powder and salt. For my seasoning powder here, I'm using some beyond. You can use Maggi cube if you like. Now this is my salt. Don't be wondering, like, why is the salt like this? This is how my own salt is. Give that a perfect stir, perfectly, so that each or one of any beef in there gets some of that beautiful seasoning. Now adding some water. I'll be using like 2 to 3 cups because I want to make sure it cooks until some of the water dries off. You don't want a case where like you boil your beef and there's too much water at the end, because you need that remaining, like the remaining dried off gravy to cook your arrow with. Cook until tender. This cook for about 15 to 30 minutes because our beef here is not that really hard. Okay, now my spinach comes in. The first important tip to ensure a good green arrow is your spinach or your water leaf. They are supposed to be 100% pure green. The second tip is your flame. Your fire is supposed to be scorching hot because the high heat helps to maintain that chlorophyll in the greens. Okay, if you're using low heat, I bet you're not going to achieve that beautiful greenish color. All right, so let that cook until the spinach or the water leaves release a lot of water so that you can use to soften your arrow with. Now guys, for my snails here, it has already been pre-cooked. It's not raw. Okay, for my snails, I steeped in hot boiling water overnight for it to come back to this beautiful state or texture the way it's looking right now. This is straight from Cameroon. Okay, another important aspect or another important point to maintain a good green color is our arrow. I know sometimes we usually have like already dried dehydrated arrow from back home. Sometimes the dried ones we have is already brown. Sorry, if you have already dried brown arrow, you're not going to achieve a green color. That's why I am so picky about the ladies who dry my arrow. See how mine is so green? What I did is I steeped in cold water 5 minutes before I started cooking. Do not steep it overnight, okay? Do not steep it in warm or like hot water. That warm or hot water makes your arrow have a very dark brown color. And I preserve my arrow on the shelf. I don't put it in the freezer. If you like, you can put it in the freezer, that's fine. But the most important thing is, if your arrow is brown, your the meal is gonna be brown. That's a tip. I just added in my crayfish and my scotch bonnet. Come in. For your scotch bonnets, you can grind it or you can use the powder one. So I just adjusted with a little bit of salt. So in this recipe, the salt and the seasoning powder we used in cooking our proteins, that's the one which will be used in seasoning all our food. You can just adjust the seasoning as you go. So now our arrow and our spinach has been partially cooked. It has been cooking for about 5 minutes. My palm oil comes in. Add enough palm oil as you want and keep adding the palm oil as you go. You know, arrow is one food like when you put palm oil, it doesn't really show on it until when you're done cooking and it sits for a while. That's when you see that, oh, I put a lot of oil inside, or oh, I didn't put enough oil. So that's how arrow is. Let this cook for another 2 minutes so that the oil you put inside is gonna cook perfectly. So I will just keep stirring this. One tip of making like thick arrow is to stir it from time to time so it thickens up and have a good texture. So guys, I hope these tips I gave you guys is gonna help you achieve a good arrow color, because whenever I make my arrow on Instagram, they always ask, oh, Auntie Chloe, how do you make it to be that so green? So I decided to shoot a detailed video for you guys so you can follow it step by step and you can see it is diaspora friendly. And if you have water leaves, you can use water leaves in place of spinach. Okay, trust me, when you use spinach, it does not alter any taste of the arrow. If you're new in diaspora, try this recipe. Do not be discouraged, because spinach is just the same as water leaf, no taste difference. So guys, on my Instagram page, I shared a video how I was serving this. I will just show you guys after the video how I was serving it. So guys, please follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. The name is the same for all, Cooking with Claudie. On Instagram, I post recipes every day. Okay, so please follow me on Instagram. Until we meet again in my next video. Bye for now. I hope you enjoyed this video.